very sweet.
Good evening, Toastmasters and welcome guests. Contest chair. You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull the mask off an old Lone Ranger. And you don't mess around with Rocket Boy. Now this is the paraphrased version of a famous song by Jim Croce that Rocket Boy would recite into the mirror every morning before venturing out and conquering anything that might come his way. And as Rocket Boy, his grandma would awaken him from his daze, "Rocket Boy!" Rocket Boy would blaze down the stairs and out the door. And Rocket Boy's grandmother again, "Rocket Boy! Are you crazy? You forgot your pants!" With Rocket Boy's head down, he trudged back inside. Some would say that Rocket Boy was forgetful. Others might say that his eyes and mind were so focused on his future that the present time seemed unimportant. Now, with pants on and a kiss from his grandmother, Rocket Boy was on his way. And on his way to school, his bike's handlebars and meters began to change, resembling that of a rocket ship. And when speeding over puddles, the water spitting behind his tire was like flames of an engine in his eyes. Rocket Boy was always in such a hurry to get where he was going. He often would ignore other spaceships on his path. And when he arrived at school, he would sit down in his chair, look out the window, and imagine showing all the other children all of his skills and great ideas. And then it came to him, as Rocket Boy started blasting off towards home. He saw on a big banner, it read, "Talent Show." This was it! This was his one chance to show the world everything. But what skill would he choose? He had so many. And as Rocket Boy blasted off towards home, tearing around the corner, into Grandma's house, up the stairs, "Grandma, Grandma, what do I do? What do I show them?" he cried. His grandma replied, "Go ask your brother. I'm very busy." Rocket Boy, with intensity, charged into his brother's room. His brother was watching his favorite show, The Sopranos, and his brother recited, "Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in." Rocket Boy interrupted. "Brother, brother, what do I do? What do I show them?" His brother replied, "Rocket Boy, this is what you do. You take a medicine bottle, and inside the medicine bottle you put three things. The first ingredient you put is vinegar. The second ingredient you put a cotton ball. And for the third ingredient, you put baking soda. You tighten the cap very tightly. You poke 3 holes in the top and you tip it over. The ingredients will mix together and create a reaction that will fizz and..." Rocket Boy had heard enough. And the whole night before the contest, Rocket Boy stayed in bed and dreamed of the audience's response over and over. And every time, it was even more magnificent. And finally, the day of the contest had arrived. Rocket Boy, just like every morning, woke up and stood in front of the mirror and said, "You don't mess around with Rocket Boy." Now, at the contest, behind the curtain, Rocket Boy was preparing his audition over and over, and outside the curtain was a room much like the size of this, filled with over 500 people. And when Rocket Boy's name was called, he stomped up to the stage, glaring helmet and all. He showed his rocket to the crowd and the process necessary for it to fly. And he asked, "Toastmasters, will you count down with me? 3, 2, 1. On 3, he tipped the rocket over. On 2, the rocket started trembling and fizzing. On 1, the rocket just like... The rocket didn't take off. Somebody laughed. The laughter spread. Even Rocket Boy's grandmother, "Oh, Rocket Boy!" With tears in his eyes, Rocket Boy threw off his helmet and lunged across stage. But he was met with his brother, and he cried to his brother, "Brother, why? Why didn't this rocket take off?" And he said, "Rocket Boy, you're so fast. You forgot what I was saying. It's not a rocket, it's a submarine. You put the rocket into a water tank, and it goes down to the bottom. And then when it mixes together, it rises to the top." Rocket Boy was so embarrassed that the next morning, when he awoke, There was no epic recital in the mirror, no bike ride with flames, and when he got to school, he sat in his chair just like every other boy. Until many, many years later, that Rocket Boy could stand in front of you tonight and share his story to the world of Toastmasters. Toastmasters and welcome guests. There are many things that can be taken from the story of Rocket Boy. First, we should always test something before we try it. Or that humiliation will carry with you as long as you let it. To go further, Rocket Boy was so caught up in the end result that he completely bypassed the steps to get there. For those of you who feel yourself blasting forward in life, we often ignore the ending just to get to our goal. We often miss opportunities and crash into others on our course. And for those of us who have yet to take off, we feel like there's so many choices without action. And we see success around us on a daily basis, whether it's some of the clothes people are wearing, the cars we are driving, even the jobs that we have. We cannot escape the fact that success is very general in the way that we perceive it. It is the fact that success is so general that our path to get there is broad and vast. I feel like there's a rocket boy or girl in all of us at some point in life, charging forward. But only when we slow down and we analyze our choices and we act on opportunity can a rocket boy or girl truly fly. Can you truly fly? Thank you very much. Back to Tim.
Yes, of imagination and dreams. Jerry Kim